So you're new to sewing, you just bought your first machine, maybe some thread, a pair of scissors, and you're ready to jump into making projects. So you go on YouTube, type up how to sew, beginner sewing projects, that kind of stuff, and boom, you get hit with a bunch of stuff, projects here, projects there. And honestly, you don't really know where to start. Even the beginner tutorials are kind of hard, but don't worry, don't worry. That's why you have me. I'm Chad, I'm your Tailor, and we're gonna rank the most common sewing projects and see which ones you should try doing. We're ranking these on a tier list, which if you're not too familiar, looks like this, with S tier on the top and F tier on the bottom. The S tier stuff is going to be projects that you're going to want to try first, and you honestly shouldn't have too much trouble with completing. Super beginner friendly, pretty much anyone can try these, and they're really easy and low stress. Whereas the F tier stuff is going to be way harder, definitely projects you want to work your way up to. So if you do try these, prepare to spend a lot of money and time and stress. Pretty much only try these if you're Karl Lagerfeld, Alexander McQueen in the making, because you know, it'll probably make you cry. Each project will be ranked on 3 different criteria. First and most importantly, coolness, right? How dope is this piece gonna be? Dope, yeah. Granted, you know, it's gonna be dope regardless because you made it, but like, you know, objectively, how nice is it? Does it look good? Can you get a lot of wear out of it? You know, are your fits gonna be nice? How cool is it? Our next criteria is cost. Okay, so we're not made out of money and you already bought a sewing machine, so that's probably like what, like 200, 250 bucks. So for these projects, the cheaper, the better. Especially for a beginner, you don't want to be spending hundreds of bucks on fabric and hardware because then you're gonna feel bad if you make a mistake, which we all do sometimes. So we're gonna be giving out points for the less expensive projects. This list is gonna vary the most because you can pretty much make every project as expensive or as cheaply as you want, depending on what material it is. But I'm just gonna be doing like kind of like an average. And our last criteria, stress level. How much is this project gonna stress you out? Sewing, like every hobby or skill worthwhile, has a certain level of stress, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we do still want to make sure it's not too stressful as to make you rage quit, throw your sewing machine away. You know what I'm saying? We still want you to be sewing. But one of the good things about sewing is that you can literally take it as slow as you want and pretty much take a break or stop and start as much as you need and just hop back in when you're ready. First project we have is a hoodie. A lot of tutorials for these online and they have a lot of customization options, baggy, cropped, different hood styles, all that kind of stuff. And when you finish this, you're gonna feel like you're on top of the world. Hoodies are closet staples, so you're gonna wear them all the time. Now, this isn't the absolute easiest thing, and if you want a decent, strong hoodie, you are gonna have to put up a bit of cash for the material, but if you get a decent patterns, hoodies aren't overly complex. So I'll put this in A tier. Next up is the bucket hat. Make a YouTube tutorial on this and it's guaranteed 200k plus views. With that being said, the next video is going to be a bucket hat tutorial, so make sure to watch that. Anyway, for good reason, it's a super easy tutorial and it's fun. You can make these double-sided with a bunch of different colors, materials, cotton, canvas, corduroy, denim. The versatility of this project is really high, so it's a really good project to start with. It's beginner friendly and material cost is really low, not that complex at all, and everyone wears hats, so you're going to get a lot of wear out of this. S tier. Next up isn't a singular project, but more encompasses a group of projects, and these are alterations and clothing repair. This is usually where most beginners start. Your pants are too long, so you want to shorten them. The waist doesn't fit properly. Maybe you popped a button, you have a rip in your pants, so you want to patch it, make adjustments to your clothes, crop a jacket, that kind of stuff. Although the range of these projects is really broad, generally they aren't really that difficult, and they also have the benefit of giving you a better understanding of how garments are constructed, and this in turn is going to make it a lot easier and give you some knowledge when you want to make stuff in the future. For repair costs, it's not too pricey and it's also not that stressful. Plus, it's dope to repair your own clothes and keep them out of the landfill, so bonus points for sustainability. We're gonna drop this up in S tier. Next up, we have pants, and this is where you start to bump up the complexity a bit, and you actually have to pay a bit more attention to the fit of the garments, because there's a lot of ways to go wrong when making pants. If you accidentally make a hoodie too big or too long or even too short, it's not the worst thing in the world, but there's nothing worse than a pair of pants that are way too tight.
Your pants are too tight!
With that being said, there's nothing like the feeling of getting a pair of pants that just fits you so well, man. It's amazing. Also, there are a lot of steps here: belt loops, waistband, leg opening tight, the infamous zipper fly, and the price of material starts to go up here, as well as the stress level. So for this, I'll put it in B tier. Next up, we have the tote bag. This project is great on literally every single metric: low cost, low stress, and hella cool to wear. So you have many options to choose from when it comes to making a tote bag. Want something classier, you know, maybe make like a leather tote bag, more durable, make it out of nylon, add a cargo pocket. Sure, when aligning, why not? Adjustable straps, add it. Go ahead. You know, the sky is the limit when it comes to this project. You can honestly go crazy with it, or you make it as simple as you want. So we're going to put this in S tier. Next up, we have dresses, and like the tote bag, this can get pretty simple or also as complex as you want it. Obviously, you know, if you're making a little black dress, it's gonna be a lot easier than making a full-on wedding dress, but even still, dressmaking's not too bad on the complexity scale. The cost typically isn't too bad depending on how long you make the dress, and again, what type of material and what style. If you want to get super simple stretch material, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. Obviously, again, like satin, velour. So depending on the cut of the dress, it can get pretty complex, as I said. So we'll just put this in C tier. Next, we have dress's little sister, the skirt. Skirts, like dresses, have a bunch of options to make, but since it's the lower half of your body and it's usually not as complex as your upper, it's not going to be as bad. You can have stretch skirts, wrap skirts, maxi skirts, mini skirts, cargo skirts, like that schoolgirl aesthetic. Slap some pleats on there, go ahead. There are a lot of options to choose from here. And depending on the skirt, you can make this in the afternoon and have a fit ready by the evening. They're super diverse, a whole bunch of styles, and a relatively low cost and stress level. So I'm going to put this in B tier. The t-shirt is next, and it's a pretty straightforward one. It's really nice when you have a great cut and sew shirt that you can get a nice fit going. Not too much diversity when it comes down to material choice. Pretty much, it's pretty much just knit fabric, and you can find a really good quality knit fabric for relatively cheap nowadays. But you can make these a lot cooler by like dyeing them, maybe getting a different fabric or a different cut. So definitely play around with that, and we're gonna put this in A tier. Next up, we have the dreaded suit. This is a death sentence to any beginner. It's not a beginner project at all. I honestly don't know why I'm adding this on here. Strongly recommend not attempting this unless you love stress in your life. The amount of areas to go wrong here is crazy. And even if you watch like a video showing you step by step on how to make one of these, I guarantee you, it's still gonna be confusing. But you know what? It's your life. If you want to try this and stretch yourself out, be my guest. But you know, you've been warned. F tier. Next, we have the simple jacket, and it's a pretty broad category encompassing everything from denim jackets to windbreakers, but they're all pretty complex. It's not life-ruiningly complex, so it's definitely doable. The cost for this is usually higher because you have to worry about things like lining, more hardware, buttons, zippers, and also the material for outdoor wear is usually going to be a bit more expensive. It also does take a bit longer to do, and you want to make sure you're really focused on making it, but when you do, you'll be super happy with the results and definitely get a lot of wear out of it. D tier. Next is leather projects, leather pants, bags, shirts, jackets. Generally, leather is a pretty tough material to work with and usually do need like a heavy duty machine, special needles, or both to work with it. But honestly, after that, it's not too much worse than regular projects. It does unfortunately cost a lot though, like more than most fabrics, especially if you get like real leather. So if you do make a mistake, you're kind of out of luck in terms of cost and you do have to spend more cash for that. Unfortunately, this does put it in D tier. Next up, we have one of my favorite projects, the utility vest. I love this one because it's super fun to make, it looks dope, and it's honestly not too bad in terms of complexity. You have a lot of different options too: denim vests, shearling vests, puffer vests, pretty much a lot of options, and you can get a lot of different fits going with these. And since it's just a vest, your material cost is going to be super low. C tier. Okay, speed round. I'm just going to be naming out some projects and putting them in the tiers I think they belong in. Any puffer type garment, C tier. Jeans, C tier. Corset or corset type shirts, C tier. Adding patches to denim, A tier. Scarves, S tier. Cargo pants, D tier. Crossbody bags, A tier. Trench coats, F tier. Backpacks, D tier. Quilts, B tier. And lastly, Suno bags, S tier. Okay, with those projects out of the way, I just want to touch on one more item, and that's home decor, specialty curtains, pillows, pillowcases, blankets. These are really good beginner projects to make because they're typically not that difficult. They're usually like double layered rectangles for most of them, and they can get you really into customizing your space, and there's nothing cozier than a blanket or a pillow, stuff like that you made yourself. So I'll put these in B tier. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something, and definitely let me know if I missed any projects that you want me to rank. Do you agree with the list? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.